Hey, this is M from the 33 Secrets, and I just want to do this quick coaching video to tell you why I dumped my very hot girlfriend just recently, as of today. While it's still fresh in my head, I want to give it to you while everything is still fresh and everything just happened. So just to give you a little backstory, this is a girl that I met actually a few years back, okay, when I was still living in the Bay Area in San Francisco. I met her a few years back, and at the time, I had a huge crush on this girl, okay? I really liked this girl, and I was doing everything I could to get her out with me. She was dating like a couple other guys who were like really like male model level looking guys, right? I don't look like a male model. But she was dating these guys at the time, and I was trying to compete, and you know, at the time she just wasn't interested, and you know, she was like, I have my plate full, I'm not really looking to date anybody else. But if you want to be friends, that's fine with me. And so she was basically trying to friend zone me. So after 2 dates of, you know, pretty much nothing happening, and I wasn't feeling any like sexual attraction from her, and she was DLVing me on these dates where, you know, she was kind of giving me this, like, she wasn't even giving me like a real hug. She was giving me these side hugs and stuff just to kind of let me know where I stood. You know, I had other women I was pursuing, and I was just like, okay, I'm just gonna wait for this chick to come around. As I teach you guys, history is very powerful when it comes to beautiful women. So, you know, just because she's not, you know, giving herself to you right then and there at the time you're trying to get with her, doesn't mean she won't in the future. So it's important you don't blow it. You keep your composure, and you do your best to stay high value in her eyes, right? So anyway, make a long story short, as you know, I moved to LA, and I was recently visiting the Bay Area again. I was visiting my family, and while I was back, I decided to hit her up. I just called her up. I'm like, hey, it's Matt. What are you up to? And she's like, oh my gosh, how are you? You know, I thought you were in LA. And I'm like, yeah, I'm still living there. I'm just visiting right now. And I think the fact that I wasn't living here, like living in the Bay Area anymore, kind of put a little bit of a time crunch on our time together. So she was like, yeah, I'd totally love to get together with you and catch up. So we went out for drinks that night. Went for drinks, and I still felt that same friend vibe that she was trying to give me a few years back, and still kind of trying to like blow me off type of thing. So I just let it ride. So we had our drinks that night. After we went for drinks, we went to across the street was this kind of like dance floor slash bar lounge. So I took her there after because it was a little bit more intimate. There were couches there. I knew that if I could physically escalate with her, that she would become attracted to me. But the first time I tried to date her a few years back, she wasn't having it. She was like, no. But this time it was it wasn't that much different, but it was different enough where there was a little bit of a crack for me to slip in. And the crack was, like I said, just bringing her across the street to this lounge. It had a dance floor. We were sitting on the couches. I had my arm around her very playfully, and we were getting into deep conversation, and I was doing a few old school pickup artist techniques on her. I did something called a cube. It's a little personality psychological test, and as I was doing the cube on her, her face was right here to my face, like our faces were dead smack in front of each other. And while I was in the middle of doing her cube, I just grabbed the back of her head and I started making out with her. I kissed her, and then she started making out with me back, and she pulled back at one point. She was like, I can't believe we just kissed. You know, she was like, I can't believe it. Oh my gosh, we just kissed. And I was like, yeah, what's the big deal? Here, we'll do it again. I grabbed her head. We started making out again. Okay. So yeah, I made sure this time to physically escalate and not waste any time. But also, obviously, you want to be careful if you're in this situation and you do that. You want to make sure that it's there and you're not kind of pushing the boundaries of something that is definitely not there yet. But I knew I had this chick there. I knew I had pumped her emotions that night, and I knew that I could physically escalate. So kissing her was not a big deal. Anyway, we kissed, held hands that night, and from that point on, she started dating me. And I was only going to stay in the Bay Area for a week, but I ended up staying 2 weeks because, yeah, I wanted to spend time with her, right? And while I was there, obviously I ended up closing her. I had sex with her and stuff, and she was just like blown away that she had sex with her. She's like, oh my God, we had sex and I wasn't planning on doing that. And so she had sex with me. And at that point, I was like, oh, man, I'm feeling this girl. I like this girl. I'm going to make this girl my next girlfriend, right? Because I was like, it was all there. I was like, I had a crush on this girl for years. She was kind of almost like a dream girl somewhat. And I've been wanting her forever, even as far back as when we first started dating. I was always thinking about her, like, yeah, man, I should go back and try to get with her, you know. And finally did, worked out, and it got to the point where I was like, yeah, let's do this. And she wanted to be in a relationship with me, right? She wanted to like do the boyfriend-girlfriend thing, and I'm like, okay, this chick seems cool. You know, she has her shit together. She drives a brand new BMW. She has a good job too. You know, she's pretty educated. I'm like, yeah, man, I feel like this chick's high value. This is gonna work. So lo and behold, like as we started dating, I mean, this chick started to get more and more needy and more clingy. And it got to the point where, I mean, I almost felt like the girl at this point. I almost felt like the woman, where I was like, man, is this the same person that I met when I first started dating? You were so boss back then. What happened to you? Why are you so clingy? Why are you so needy? Why are you always calling me? Why are you always texting me, right? And this was a girl that back in the day, I couldn't get her to return my text. Now, she won't stop texting me. She won't stop calling me. She won't stop leaving messages. And I was starting to get annoyed. All right, I was starting to get annoyed. I'm like, at one point, I'm like, do you really have to leave me 5 messages? I mean, do you understand, like, I have to, like, check my voicemail every time you do this, and it's very time consuming. And then she would get throw a hissy fit. She's like, well, if you don't want to hear my voice then, well, fine, I just won't call. I just won't call. And she'd like, that's how she would respond. I'm like, are you serious? What are you, 12? Yeah, so the more I dated this chick, just the more needy, the more clingy, and the more suffocating the relationship became. And again, I really felt like the woman at this point, where like generally it's women who feel this when they're dating guys, that they just get too clingy and suffocating. But at one point I was telling my wing, man, I was like, he was like, hey, isn't this the girl you really wanted? I'm like, yeah. He's like, that chick's super hot, dude. He's like, I'd take her in a heartbeat. And I'm like, yeah, she's hot, but man, she's a stage 5 clinger, right? You guys know what stage 5 clinger is? Watch Wedding Crashers. See what a stage 5 clinger is. Anyway, she's stage 5 clinger. And I'm like, this chick will not stop calling, will not stop texting. Anytime I don't text her for more than a few hours, she like gets upset with me and like, hey, what are you doing? Who are you with? And I'm like, then that jealousy shit started happening. And I don't play that. Okay, I do not play that. And I told her specifically, hey, you know what? I'm a dating coach. I got to do what I got to do. Okay, it doesn't necessarily mean that I'm going to be bringing girls home every single night, but you know what you got yourself into. And I stood my, you know, which was kind of a mistake, because me standing my ground and, you know, continuing to demonstrate that alpha behavior made her want me even more. It's insane. This chick could not get enough of me. Then she saw some photos of the last girl I dated, who was 19, and she flipped out. She was like, this girl is young enough to be your daughter, and she's not even 21 yet. She can't even drink alcohol, and blah, 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 blah. And so she was like, now she was trying to shame, right? Oh, as my lights go out here, my Range Rover. So now she was trying to shame me, and it just got to the point where, you know what? I just didn't want to deal with it anymore, and I'm like, this is not the first time I've been in this situation, and if you approach enough hot girls and you date them and make them your girlfriend, you will be in this situation too. And it's so freaky to be in this situation, because none of your guy friends understand it. None of your non-pickup buddies will ever understand it. You breaking up with a super hot girl, they'll be like, dude, what is wrong with you? Put a ring on that girl's finger. You know, and they just don't get it, because they're still like living with that blue pill conditioning, right? The last straw was the last time I had seen her, and we were out together, and we just had sex, and it was like 2 a.m. We were in a hotel room together, and my phone started vibrating, right? So my phone started vibrating, and it was a text message from another girl. Okay, it was a text message from another girl. It wasn't really a girl that I was seeing, but it was a girl that I had dated before. She was like super hot as well. But, you know, it was like 2 a.m. She texted, and of course, the girl I'm with, you know, the girl that I'm seeing, she's like, who's texting you at 2 a.m? Who's texting you? And she was waiting for me to go to the bathroom so she could check my phone. And that's where I draw the line. Okay, I don't do that phone checking shit. I just don't do it. Okay, neither should you guys. You don't want to do that shit. Yeah, that's where I draw the line. You start checking my phone, we're done. Because you're not going to like what's on my phone. And again, I do not lie to these girls. I do not manipulate them. I let them know from the very get-go what they're getting themselves into. Just as I told her. I said, just so you know, be aware that I go out. Be aware this is my profession. Be aware this is my job. And it doesn't mean I'm going to go out and cheat on you or anything like that, but just be aware that, I'm going to be interacting with the opposite sex frequently because I'm a pickup artist. Okay, and if you don't want to be my girlfriend, that's completely fine. I am not holding a gun to your head. You do not need to stay. She was like, no, I care about you. I want to be with you. That's all she said. But obviously, that came with a lot of strings attached, being possessive and jealous. She would get like super jealous over, just seeing photos of me. And I'm like, yeah, this isn't going to work. And then she would like tell me like, okay, I'm going to try to change, just based off my many years of experience. I know that's complete bullshit. The person is never going to change. Even if they tell you that, it's very, very temporary. They will go right back to how they were. As soon as things calm down, they will go right back to how they were. So make a long story short, yeah, I cut her off and I told her I didn't want to do this anymore, and I'm breaking it off. She was blown away. She said that nobody has ever broken up with her. And I'm like, well, welcome to welcome to reality. Everybody gets dumped. And I just told her I wasn't interested, and she just was blown away. She was like, why? How could you do this? What kind of man? And then she tried to start with the shaming language. I'm like, hello, you're talking to a dating coach. I am like one of the most red-pilled sons of bitches out there you're ever going to meet. So save your breath. The blue pill feminist shaming tactics do not work on me, and that's that. Another thing I did not like about her was it was very me. Okay, I don't like that shit at all. When we would have conversations, it was all about her. And part of a normal, healthy relationship is when the person asks, like, how was your day? And you ask back, like, how was yours? It's not like, oh, how was your day? And then the person rambles on for the next hour and never asks you shit, right? That's not a relationship. That's just being selfish. That's being narcissistic. And, in many ways, just because she's a hot girl and she's gotten a lot of attention throughout her life, I mean, I understand, but in the same sense, I've dated other girls who are just as hot, if not hotter than her, who know how to carry on a conversation and not do that. Okay, that coupled with the fact that she was massively insecure and like seriously wanted to start in with the phone checking. I mean, that's where I draw the line with that dysfunctional relationship type crap. I don't do that. Neither should you. I mean, once your girl wants to start checking your phone and, what's your password and all this, done. I'm done. Right? I don't deal with that stuff. It's like, hey, you be in a mature relationship with me, you act mature, or there's the door. I don't care how hot you are. And the fact that I dumped her is like, it's just blowing her mind right now. She can't believe that that it's over. I know she's thinking too that like, oh, or you might be thinking this too, like, oh, he'll go back with her, or they'll get back together. No, once I end it with somebody, I end it. And I've been wanting to end it with her for the last few weeks now, so I kind of waited. I wanted to give her more of the benefit of the doubt, and really that was a mistake because it's playing out exactly how I thought it would based on her behavior. The point of this video is it's important as a man to stick to your morals, stick to your principles, even in the face of getting laid by a hot chick. I mean, for me, it's kind of ruined it with her. She was a hot girl. I really enjoyed having sex with her too. I mean, I really enjoyed it. It felt really good. I will admit that. It felt really good. But she's ruined it just with her attitude. Her behavior has really killed her attractiveness in my eyes. And even sexually, I just like, so, it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal anymore. So yeah, I just dumped her, and yeah, she's just like freaking out because she's never been dumped before. And it's like, well, all the guys you've dumped and how they like cry, how they all cried and begged you back. Well, maybe you need to experience that too. And I'm not even trying to do that to her. I just want to move on, and I don't feel that we're a good fit. But she's like, blown away by the fact that I'm breaking up with her. She thinks it's only the phone checking, but it's a number of other things. It's the neediness, the clinginess. She also wanted us to text each other, because I'm in LA and she's in San Francisco. She wanted us to text each other good night and good morning every single day. And like for some of you guys, you might think that's okay. I mean, if that's the type of relationship you want, that's great. But I made it clear to her that I'm a very, very busy person. I'm like, I've got a business to run. I've got students to take out. I'm constantly on the go. I'm constantly in venues. I don't really have time to text you every single morning and every single night. A lot of times I don't know what time I'm getting up, and I don't know what time I'm going to sleep. So, you know what? To ask me to text you every day at 8 a.m. and also at 8 p.m., I don't want to be on a schedule, and I don't want homework, and I don't want to feel like, my relationship is a chore. I rather go with the flow, and I'm like, you're just not that type of girl that I'm looking for right now. At one point in my life, yeah, I would have loved a girlfriend like that. When I was still living that blue pill social conditioning, like, oh, I'm gonna marry this girl. But now my thinking is different, and I'm awake, and I'm like, that's not what I'm looking for. And you need yourself a guy who's gonna be just as needy as you are, and just as clingy, and who's going to be able to partake in that dysfunctional relationship with you, and checking each other's phones and trying to steal each other's passwords. I don't do that, okay? I'm a grown man. I expect you to be a grown woman, no matter if you're still in your 20s. At least try to act adult. So yeah, I dumped her, and it just letting you guys know that it's okay to let these girls go. Even if you get a hot girlfriend, she starts acting up on you, don't be afraid to let her go. The worst thing that can happen is you stick with her, and she continues to poison drip you and poison drip the relationship, and you let yourself deteriorate to the point where you're just not happy with life and you're miserable. And I was starting to feel feelings of, I don't want to say anxiety or negativity so much. More or less, she was starting to zap me of energy. Okay, because when people start doing like just very snotty things like that, it starts to zap you of energy. And I rather have my focus on things that are positive and people that are positive. And I don't mind letting go of a hot girl, because hey, there are a dime a dozen out there, and I can replace her as easily as I met her. All right, so that's all I'm gonna say. It's like pitch black dark out here. I'm sitting in my Range Rover right now, and there goes my cell phone, and about to head home. So until next time, this is M from the 33 Secrets. Don't forget to smash that like button. Also, make sure you hit that notification bell. Make sure you get notified whenever I upload a brand new video. And also, if you want further coaching from me, make sure you get in my monthly online coaching program, 7 months of mastery, where I'm teaching you all of my most recent and my most advanced, latest pickup techniques for picking up 8s, 9s, and 10s. Only the hottest, most youngest, most beautiful women out there. I teach you how to do that. Also teach you how to keep these girls, which very, very few pickup artists teach you how to do, how to be in relationships with these girls so they don't screw you over. They don't try to DLV you while you're in the relationship. You stay high value, you keep them around for many, many years to come. There are many girls that I picked up years ago that are still in my life. One of my longest running relationships with a girl is going on 10 years now. And, we just continue to date each other. Right? So, and we're good friends too. So I teach you all this and more in my monthly online coaching program, 7 months of mastery. It is very, very difficult to pick up these hot girls without game, without skill. This is why you need to learn this stuff. And take it from me, I've been in field over 2 decades now. I've approached tens of thousands of young, beautiful women. I've dated over 350 young, beautiful women now, and have had many long-term relationships with them. And in my program, I teach you how to do it too. But beyond all that, I also drop a lot of red pill bombs on you guys, just to kind of wake you up to the matrix, so you're not living in this blue pill Disney fantasy world thinking that all hot women are princesses and can do no wrong. Because as I've just kind of told you in this video, they're not all perfect, guys. Even if you think they are and you want to pedestalize them, they're not. And I'm a little disappointed that this relationship didn't work. I'm a little disappointed because I really liked this girl, and she had everything going for her. Good job, like brand new Beamer, seemed mature in other ways, but very immature, like relationship wise. And a lot of this comes back to daddy issues too, which I should have seen. That's always a red flag. She had daddy issues. So her dad wasn't around when she was growing up. So that definitely will cause issues in a relationship, but that is definitely for another video. So I'm going to sign out here. Until next time, this is M from 33 Secrets. I will see you guys in the next coaching video.